Are we live? Oh, okay, beautiful. I think we're live now. Hi, hello, welcome. And in today's live training, we're going to be talking all about the 7 types of grounding. I don't know if there was just a little lag or not. The screen just went black, so I'm not sure if that cut off. But welcome, welcome, welcome. And in today's live training, we're gonna be talking about the 7 types of grounding. Before we get into any of that, I'm just going to light some quick sage and we're just going to clear the energy, do a nice little energy cleanse before we get into today's training. And if you guys want any sage sent to you, I do encourage you to go ahead and take a deep breath. You can kind of close your eyes and then just kind of breathe in some new energies. I'm going to go ahead and send this to everybody. All right, I am gonna let this keep burning here for a second and it will keep sending to you guys. I just got notified from Facebook about something, and I'm not used to going live straight through Facebook, so I'm still kind of learning these quirks as I've been using multi-streaming platforms. So give me 1 second as we figure this out, which will also give everybody else a chance to jump on. Let me see. You guys want to drop in the comments where you guys are from, how you guys are doing. I would love to hear. Let me see if I can figure out where this is at. Something's off on my end where it says viewers may experience a lower quality stream. So I was trying to figure that out really quick just so there wasn't any lags. And I am not sure, as like I said, this is not my normal streaming app. I don't see it in the settings, so give it just one more moment, and if we can't figure it out, we're gonna go back into the training. Let's see. Thank you guys for your patience. Let's see. Just a couple more things I'm going to look at. Okay. Yep. I'm not sure where it's at. So let's figure out how to get back where I can see the comments. And we still got sage burning. So beautiful. And it's going to have to be what it is. And okay. Martin says you don't do my sage teachings. Honestly, every time I work with sage, it's always something different, and we were just kind of doing something very simple and clearing the energy today. Oh, you're in Southern Maryland. What you doing in Maryland? Hello, Dalton. How are you? Oh, you're in sunny Florida. Beautiful. Did you make the move, or are you just moving, or are you just visiting? And then Johnny's in Scottsdale. Awesome. Hi. I'm sorry. I'm in Arizona. Scottsdale's on my mind. You're in Scotland. Welcome. What time is it in Scotland? You guys, this notification popped up again saying the viewers may experience a lower quality stream because my frame rate is too low. I'm not even sure what a frame rate is too low, and they tell me what to set it to, but I'm not sure how to change it. So if there is a lag, please let me know. Let me know if it's coming across okay, because if you guys can see me and hear me, then I'm just going to leave it because I feel like I've looked through all the settings that I can find, and I don't want to spend too much time on this. Oh, you're from there. Oh, you moved. Okay, nice. I love how everything aligned where you moved and I moved around the same time, Dalton. How is the weather? It's 30 there. Well, I am so glad I moved away. It is, not sure what it is today, but 70s-ish during the days. So let me see. Okay, so if everybody, yeah, if someone wants to just let me know if they can see and hear me okay, if there's a lag, because I'm not sure what this frame rate is about or how to do it, but I will do some investigations after the live so we can jump into today's training. And okay. Well, I hope there isn't that much of a lag that's why nobody's commenting. I'm gonna go ahead and start, and I guess if there's an issue, somebody just let me know in the comments, okay? Okay, let's see. Okay, so today we're gonna be talking all about, let me see the top, the 7 types of grounding. Now, before we get into all of that, I just want to talk about what is grounding. Let's get this sage over here. So grounding is when we are truly present in the moment. We are in our body. We're not living in the past. We're not living in the future. I'm truly in the here and now. And I have a centered energy within my being. I have a more kind of a more stillness, because when we're truly in the moment, we can appreciate things, and it's just a different, it's a little bit of a slower vibration, because a lot of humans like to do and act and move and be very fast. But do you see how even I just started talking about grounding, and I came back to my body, came back to the moment, I came back to the here and now. So this is a very grounded state of being. And if you guys have been seeing my other posts, I've been talking about all of the benefits of grounding, which I'm not going to get into today. But if you guys want to go ahead and just check, they're all over in this Facebook group and my profile and my business page. All the benefits of grounding, why to ground, stuff like that. So let's jump in. It keeps popping up, this notice. Okay, we're just going to close it. It's going to be what it is. But I'm just getting messages now about what time it is there. So there might be a really big lag. Okay. All right. I think that's what's going on, because I asked that a couple minutes ago. Well, we're just going to have fun with it, and we're going to play with it. We know we've got a little Mercury action going on, but we're not going to let Mercury stop us, right? Okay. So truly being able to be in the moment in our body, and just being able to be and exist, versus trying to do all of these things, that masculine action energy, that feminine energy slows us down and grounds us back to the here and now, has been this game changer for me. And I was just writing a post about that as well. But my story was, I could not figure out grounding forever. Okay. I used to jokingly say, and now looking back, I was more cementing this into my reality, but I could not figure out grounding so much that I used to say I had no root chakra. I'm like, yeah, it just fell off. I don't know, I lost it. It's somewhere. And I would like laugh about it, because I had such a problem grounding. But all I kept doing was cementing that in, that I couldn't ground. And then finally I stopped saying it. And I had a few things click where I started uncovering different energies of grounding. So this was my game changer moment, when I learned there was more than one type of grounding, and that what I was trying may work for you, but it wasn't working for me. And so if you're having trouble grounding, it may just be because you're approaching it from the wrong type of grounding. So let's go over these types, okay? So we have physical grounding. So this is going to drop you more into your body to allow you to be here and now. There is this energy, and if you, just for me, the best way I could explain it is like, sometimes if I get energy work afterwards, I'm a little bit floaty afterwards, and my soul's kind of like not full in my body, like I'm a little bit more ethereal. Sometimes we need to come back into the body. I've been working on physical grounding for, I don't know, the last year or two, and it has helped me so much be present, because I didn't realize my soul was like floating above my body for like the longest time, and I loved it. I lived off on planet Pisces. I was like up here all the time. But when I came back to my body, there's a reason we have a body. Like, there's a reason we are here on this earth. You need your body. And I felt so disconnected in my life and from myself and from others, and I just really felt truly more connected to everything. Like, once I started uncovering physical grounding, because we need to be attached to this body, okay? Even though you are a soul having a human experience, you are still in human form in this lifetime. So coming back into the physical form has helped me so much. So physical grounding is the first one, okay? Then I want to go over emotional grounding. So emotional grounding, right? We have this reactive mind, and if somebody says something that triggers us, aggravates us, we get upset, we get heightened energy, and we're all in a state of anxiety and panic, and I'm freaking out, right? Let's just say you're in a fight with your partner and you are up here. Well, if you both are up here and you both are just like super anxious and just triggering each other, like the fight is going to go nowhere and it's never going to end and it's not going to be productive and it's not going to be helpful. Somebody's got to come back down to be able to have a calm, cool, collected conversation. So if we're both in this heightened state of fear and anxiety and worry and desperation and guilt and resentment or whatever it is, but emotionally you're crying, like, and I'm not saying anything bad about crying, but like if we're in a heightened state of being, we're not able to truly express ourselves. And those conversations get nowhere. They, in my opinion, they get nowhere. If somebody's way up here, the other person ain't going to hear you. And if you're both way up here, neither one of you are going to hear you. So coming back down and learning emotional grounding can help. Okay, now I hear what you're saying. Like, you know how people, when, have you ever been in a situation when you both are up here or one of you's up here and it's not getting anywhere, but then you go back and talk like the next day or the next week and it's like, oh, okay, I get it now. Because you're not in that heightened state, that anxious state. So emotional grounding has helped so much, you know, just with myself and just even the communication plane, okay? So the next one we're going to go over is mental grounding. Okay, this one for me is the one I need the most. Okay, I am very much in my head as I need a plan, I need to do. I'm literally always thinking 10 steps ahead. I'm like, what can I do to better this? And I'm like rewriting programs and building stuff. And I'm just nonstop creating, but of the mind. And so I use a lot of mental energy and then I burn out. It's too much. It's too much because I've just all mental energy all the time. And I need to learn. Once I learned grounding, I was like, okay, I can handle the mental plane because I will do mental grounding either before, during, or after. So if you're somebody who is an overthinker, if you get spaced out, if you just have overactive thoughts, if you have brain fog, there might be too much mental energy going on, and we need to practice mental grounding to work with that plane because this is a plane. You also have a physical body. This is a plane. You also have an emotional body. This is a plane, a mental plane. These are all mental, emotional, physical plane, but you also have a mental body. So learning mental grounding to manage your mental body to access that mental plane can help so much, okay? Well, we also have another body and there's another plane of being. So we have spiritual. So this one I want to talk about how it can kind of polarize in one or two ways. So you could be really cut off from your spiritual self. And so grounding spiritually could reconnect you. So if you are somebody, and we're all on our own journey, there's no judgment, but if you're somebody who just, in whatever spirituality means to you, it doesn't have to mean God, it doesn't have to mean church, it doesn't have to mean like anything religious. It just, if you are not connected, because you're a spiritual being, you are a soul. So if you're disconnected from your soul, if you're disconnected from your higher self, your God, your higher power, whatever it is, it could be because you don't have spiritual grounding in your life. So if you're, let's say let's say even you used to be connected, and then right now you're in this energy of like, well, I don't feel connected in my, my higher self. What's going on? Well, maybe you need to ground into your spiritual body because this is a whole plane of existence as well. But it can also go almost like very overactive on the other energy where it's so hyper. It's a very hypersensitive energy where it's just like, oh, spirituality all the time. Yes, 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 positivity and spirituality. Like there's too much of that and we need to ground that down because that spiritual plane, at least with the grounding, how I'm perceiving it, especially in this moment, it's like what's that thing called? Not a pendulum, but a spectrum. So it could be on any end of the spectrum, like from like non-existence to like way too much and everything in between. Like if there was something that went in there, went in between there. And so sometimes when we're just like using way too much spiritual energy, we can, because it's always the middle path, right? The middle path is going to be that answer. So if there's too much, we can bring it back to center, or if it's like non-existence, we can bring it back to center. Hopefully that's making sense. Let me kind of check the comments here for a second. Okay, all right. Okay, so these are there's more than four sides of us and there's more than four realms. These are the four that I usually work with more on a daily basis, and these have been a game changer with grounding. Um, so I want to go over these, but I also want to go over another type of grounding, which we're going to go over grounding with Mother Earth. Okay, so let's say, how do I want to word that? Let's say grounding into the earth. Okay. Okay, so grounding into the earth can be great. I had a lot of trouble with this when I first started grounding, and I thought this was the only way to ground. And I'm somebody who doesn't wear shoes, and I'm walking barefoot, and I'm hugging trees, and I'm sitting in the dirt, and I'm in the grass, and I was like, why can't I ground? It doesn't work. And so this is why I kept saying, I didn't have the root chakra, because grounding relates with the root chakra. And I just kept approaching it from grounding into the earth, and it did not work, and it did not work, and it did not work. Well, I had way too much mental energy and emotional from a lot of trauma and stuff. And I, needed to ground down physically. And when I started working with these four, what happened was I started being able to ground into the earth with Mother Earth. But I had too much, these were so heightened that I needed to bring them back down to the here and now before I could start working with the earth, okay? Now, the next type of grounding I want to talk about is grounding into the body. Oh, this is one of my favorites, and this works so well for me. I need this one. How I kind of explain the difference between physical, because your body is a physical being. It's almost like, for me, in my experience, when I tried physical grounding, it was almost surface level. But I needed to really, truly feel into my body and go deeper. This is like almost step one to go into step two, because things that you can ground in your body with are, breath work is a great thing, but I want to use that as an example, because when I ground in my body, it's like I'm able to release trauma. Where this brings me, the physical grounding brings me into the here and now. But when I'm grounding into my body, it's like releasing old blockages that are preventing me from going forward. But first, I have to be present in my body physically to go ahead and release this. And it's when I get into the body and I move past all of those blockages, all of the traumas, all of the ego stuff, I can truly be here and now, because all of these are great. And it was almost like I went through these to understand these two better. And that's just my path. I'm not saying that you can't start off here and work with these, or start here and then go here, and it doesn't matter. Because here's the thing, you may need emotional grounding, and somebody else may need mental grounding, and somebody else may need physical grounding. And it may switch. You may all of a sudden, okay, well, it's mental and emotional today. It's in the body and earth next week. It's going to ever change. And so learning these different grounding techniques has been so beneficial, because when I'm like, okay, I'm being a basket case, or my emotions out of whack, let's try emotional grounding. If I'm planning too much, let me go back and work on mental. And so they can shift in and out when need to be. And so once you uncover, like, okay, well, it's physically what I need, it's spiritually what I need, and I really need to be in the body. Like, this unlocked all the doors for me. I had so many years of trauma, and once I started uncovering all of these and got in my body, like, truly, it leveled up my psychic game, my heart chakra, stepped me in my power. Like, this was the big one. I was like, yo. Because I kept trying to get into earth, and I'm like, I'm in earth, but no, I'm on earth, right? I'm on earth. So I was like approaching it from the wrong way at the time of what I needed. So I kept trying to be like in earth, and I was like, oh, first be in your body, be in your body. And I was like, once I connected that, I was like, again, it opened up the earth even more. This one keeps opening, but it's like the other ones, they all laid they all were framework. They all laid a brick. What's it, like the dominoes that got me into where I am now, and it's something to still work on, right? Okay, so we've got 6 types so far, and the last one I want to talk about is, let's say, grounding with the elements. Okay. All right. So let's maybe do this. And it honestly doesn't matter what order. Like I'm just, it doesn't mean any are better or worse. And some may work better for you than others. So grounding with the elements. This again helped me so much because it's like I'm approaching it from the wrong energy. I don't want to say this is applicable for everybody, but for me, I'm a water sign, and when I ground with water, it's so much more. It hits home, and it works so much better for me. That doesn't mean that if you're an air sign, you can't ground with water. That doesn't mean if you're a fire sign, you can't ground with the grass and the dirt. Just grounding with different elements, earth, air, water, fire. And I would totally encourage you to play around with these to see what they are, because I can ground with all four elements, right? I can do any of these, but what's needed in that time? There's times I was like, oh my God, mental grounding is the best thing for me. And then I try it and I think that's what I need and it doesn't work. And so I'm like, okay, let's try something else. So just figuring out what you need in that moment has helped me a lot, and being able to like experiment with the different types. But yeah, I mean, I still play around with the elements, and as I shift and change and my body grows and I learn and my consciousness evolves, I'm like, yo, I never could ground with the air, but now I'm learning how to work with that. So these are the 7 types of grounding that have helped me out so much. Let me kind of come back in here. Okay, beautiful. I don't know, this thing keeps popping up and the comments kind of stop. So hopefully you guys have been able to follow along. It looked like there was definitely a lag. If anybody wants to learn how to do all of these types of grounding, you guys can drop grounding into the comments, and I'd love to help unlock that code for you. Because like when I teach physical grounding, I'm going to teach, I don't know, like half a dozen different types of way to do it, because physical grounding may be what you need, but it's approaching it from the right angle. Being like that, let's say we learn one way, that may not work for you, but it may work for me, and vice versa. So there's so many different ways to emotional, mental, all of these ground, and finding what plane you need to be in, and then second, what type of grounding in each category is going to be best for you. So if anybody wants to learn these types of grounding, you guys can drop grounding in the comments, and we can open up a beautiful conversation to see where your blocks are. So you can kind of let me know what's going on, and then I could say, okay, based on what you've said, it sounds like you need XYZ, you need 1, 2, 3. So it's hard to go into all of these because your blocks are going to be different than somebody else's. So if anybody is open to learning these, just drop grounding, and we can definitely keep talking about these, what would be the best options for you. Other than that, since I don't know what's going on with the Facebooks and the comments and everything, I think we'll wrap it up right here. And sending you guys so much love, so much light. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. If you guys are watching on YouTube, which this will be up Friday, and you ever want to catch me live is where you can do I will answer Q&As. So if you guys are watching on YouTube and you want to be live to get your questions answered, you can join the private Facebook group, The Awakening Code. I will leave a link in the description of the video of the Awakening Code, because the only place we're doing the live free trainings now are in the private Facebook group. But I will have the replays up on YouTube on Fridays. Other than that, thank you guys so much, and many blessings.